Shop dog Mackie met us when we got home, and he's like, "Hey, cool truck." And he looked at a couple of them turds on the ground and he said, "Hey, those look like dog treats." So that was gross. Let's go take a look. Welcome back to the channel. We're going rescuing. Yeah, we just can't stop buying stuff. This one's really close to home. Jalen's along for the ride, and we got to go run in 5 miles one way, 4 miles one way, grab a trailer, 10 miles the other way, grab the rescue, purchased rescue, and there's not enough time to give you the old windshield ride, so we're gonna do that. We'll get her loaded up, and it's close enough to home, and we'll see you when we get back home. I think you're gonna like it. It's pretty cool. Well, what do you know? We're at the site of our car show, St. John's Lutheran Church in Marquette, and we had to go a whole half a mile further than the car show to pick up that. What you're looking at is, and we have the hood, don't be scared, 1961 Ford F250. And here's what's unique about this particular truck: it's the unibody one. So there's no, usually the box is separate from the cab. Not on these bad rides. It's one piece. It's a pretty darn straight truck. It's 98% racing red. It's got a cool little, whether it's homemade or factory option or dealer option bumper. The tailgate is in pretty good shape. These side cubbies there's some surface rust. We'll have to get the steel wool out and recondition the paint in this area and in this area. And then somebody had we had a little bumper tag here. That's fixable. But otherwise, guys and gals, here. So there's Mises. You got the Mises issues in a lot of these rigs. The good news is, not a lot of Mises issues with this particular rig. The unfortunate news is, we got the bigger critters that have been hanging out in this bad ride. And by bigger, well, let's just go up here. We don't even have to climb up. That's what you call raccoon poo. So yeah, we're gonna take it straight home and just start washing. Another unique thing about this particular truck, and it's all red. We got a white grill, raccoon poop, and white front bumper. But the original, I think it was supposed to be what, a 223 or 226? Yeah, somewhere in there. 6-cylinder is gone. And what this is, and some of you may kind of recognize it, it's the 300 Ford 6-cylinder. This is a power unit version, so it's got some doohickeys and some internals that are a little beefier, I think, so it can run dual fuel, that kind of stuff. But we got us it's brand new, it's rebuilt, whatever, it ain't been run, and it's a 300 instead of a 226 or 3 or whatever. Manual brakes, manual steering, just a farm rig other than that. But what's really cool about this one, again, is we got the unibody, and it's the F250. They didn't make as many of the F250 unibodies because the guys and gals that owned them loaded them down, and that caused problems. It especially caused problems with the fitment of the doors and the opening and the closing, because it was all one thing. And since it was a heavier duty truck, they were using it as such. So this one doesn't have that. These door gaps are beautiful on both sides. We have very little rust We have more raccoon poo, and looks like maybe we had a patch here at one time. The other side's solid. Oh, we gotta find that transmission tunnel. T18 probably, 4-speed, granny low, all the good stuff. Half a pallet and a license plate. So yeah, there's body work right there. Shuts good. We're pretty happy. We're gonna get this home and we're immediately gonna start washing on it. I don't know, we don't really have a huge plan for it yet. We're gonna get it running first of all, and then I don't know, it's got oddball tires and wheels on it, so it's got to have tires and wheels. So do we go with a decent meaty tire and wheel, or do we, you know, lower it? I don't know. Jalen's already said he's voting lowering it.
I think this part needs to be right about here.
Yeah, that'd be a lower. So
it's got this really cool, like, hot rod looking slope body line down the whole thing.
it really does.
I think it's gonna have to be a hot rod.
Maybe so. Alrighty, we're gonna get home. We're just a few miles away. Probably gloves, masks. It's gonna be one of those PPE type cleanings. Step one of the raccoon poop removal process has been completed. I don't know, a lot, like half of a 50-gallon trash can plus a bunch on the ground. And I gotta kind of rake this up because shop dog Mackie met us when we got home, and he's like, hey, cool truck. And he looked at a couple of them turds on the ground and he said, hey, those look like dog treats. So that was gross. But step one was removing the piles. So the piles are gone. By the way, the Milwaukee Fuel cordless blower, if I can't use both my thumbs, but thumbs up on that. We got the carburetor covered up. Cool. We got DuraSpark for our 300, so that's nice. We'll get that working. But yeah, all this area here was full. I don't think the rust is very bad down in there. We do have a little hole here that's been patched with a little piece of rubber, so we're going to fix that up even better. Because this was full, it was leaning against the bottom of the doors, but they're still solid. We just got to keep cleaning. And the big thing was we came in here and we just shovels and a lot of shovels. But we're about ready. In fact, I got to go put on my muck boots, but we're gonna fire up the pressure washer and give her a little rip. We have a sneaky suspicion. Now I don't know, I haven't looked at the data plate, haven't found it yet. Where's the data? Well, I'll find it before. I was gonna say tippy tap and tell me where the data plate is, but I'll find it after I'm done cleaning here. But the sneaky suspicion is this might be a Viking red color. This might be the same darn color as the Bronco, as John's Bronco that we just got done restoring. Go up and watch playlists and videos and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, we're getting ready. I got to put my muck boots on, and then we're going to hit her with some water, probably some heated water. But at least, ooh, there's one. I missed that one. We'll get that one out of there somehow. Oh, pliers. We can probably get that with the belt pliers. Okay, yuck. Oh, I shouldn't have done that because Mackie's gonna try and eat it. Darn it. Okay. Anywho, step one complete. Step two. Here we go. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna do a little walk around. So back. Passenger side bed, by the way, really solid, I believe. Top innards, passenger side of the cab, fronts, windshield, and we're just gonna compare is what I'm doing, because I think the transformation is going to be pretty spectacular. Well, the GoPro 12 turned off because it got too dang hot. So we're on to 9, and we just finished up step 2, which was the Hotsy. First with the cold water, then with the Hotsy water, and we're cleaning up. We're gonna go ahead. I told Jalen I wasn't gonna do this, but now I'm pretty intrigued, because even with the hot water, we still have scum on here that just won't come off. And I believe, so here's what's going on. The raccoons, the windows were down in this truck in storage, so the raccoons would doot, 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 and then they'd scamper across here. And so you can actually see little scratchy marks from their finger claws in here. And so they went in that way, and then they'd come out. And this isn't raccoon damage. This is something else that somebody was trying to repair that we will address as well. But then here's the big part. They'd come over here and they'd, you know, jungle gym over the rear view mirror. That's why all this is all gooey. And then this was a main thoroughfare here of getting, look at all these scratch marks. I think you can probably see them in there. But what we're gonna do next for step 3 is we're gonna go get a cotton rag and some soap in a bucket, and we're gonna hand wash the outside of this just to see how much more of this red we can get out. It's starting to oxidize here, so it's gonna need some mechanical help, but overall it cleaned up really good. We got all the crap out of here. We do have just a tickle bit of rust showing there. Same thing, it's already been patched over here. We're gonna leave that, but everything cleaned up really well. And then again over here, here's where we're using this as a launch pad to get around here and into the truck. The raccoons were. And then over here we did find a little bit of rust in the back of this fender right here. That's from junk getting down in that A-pillar and sitting there. And then also in here, we got a little bit of rust in the floor right here. We can cut that out. We can fix that. No problem. Is that? Yeah, that's got to get dug out and cleaned. There's a body mount bolt down in there somewhere. That's still pretty gross. And then I've about had it. I'm covered with sprinkles of dirt, and you know what else. And I'm not, you know, yeah, I'm not happy. This is not one of those, you know, too many of these dang restoration shows say, oh, this is cool. You take old cars and they're perfectly clean, and you make them cleaner and shinier, and there's no dirty work involved at all, according to the shows. I'm here to tell you, there's a lot of dirty work involved in this nonsense, and if you're not prepared to do the dirty work, don't try it, because you're gonna fail. All right, let's get a bucket, let's get the washing, so we can kind of, you know, it's Saturday. I'd like to relax just a little bit today. Dudettes, dudes, I am filthy, I am beat, but we're on the right track. Step 3, hand bucket wash, no vidya, but here's where we're at. She's brightened up quite a bit, quite a bit. We still, if you look real close, zoom in there or something, we've got some staining, we've got some faded paint. Now I still think this is probably the same color as the Bronco, and we'll get to that in a vidya here very shortly, but it really is coming along. Like I said, here's our 2 raccoon highways from across here, beep boop, into the truck, and from up here you could tell the bumper, this area was really dirty where they tiptoed up the front here, come across here, you can see the same thing. This is still discolored. Up here, jungle gym over the mirror and inside. But hey, you know, I will take this. This is looking a lot lot better. The hood's over here. You know, unfortunately, if there's a downside, it's the hood. And I'm not sure how we're gonna try, if we're gonna try to fix it. Probably what we'll do is we'll try to rub on it and love on it just a little bit more. But I don't think we have any through pinholes yet that are obvious. But we did, you know, pressure wash everything on the inside, and at the very least we'll do heavy pour 15 treatment and then an underhood coating, and like I said, continue to love on this paint. Now the good thing is this is nothing, this paint is nothing, although I think it's the same color, it's nothing like the Bronco paint in quality. It is so much better. It's still hard, even though it's a little crusty and flaky. When I washed it really hard with a cotton rag is what I used, like a terry cloth rag, very little pigment came off on the rag. And on John's we had to be careful how hard we washed it because you could take off pretty much as you wanted. So that means we've got more paint and we've got harder paint to buff on. That means we can buff harder, we can rub harder, we can scrub harder. So we've got lots of tools on the old belt. We've got the SOS pads, and the light's gonna get bad, I apologize. We've got Comet. We haven't done that one yet, so we might try the Comet bath on a lot of this. And then we've got the good old buffer and waxing, and I think, boy oh boy, it's gonna be pretty good. So thanks for watching this one. I hope you're getting something out of this stuff. Tell us what you think on the old F250 here. I'll give you a little bit of what I'm thinking, and I want to show you again. The bed is rust free, all the raccoon poop is gone, but I want to look at that wheel tub. It's huge. The wheel tubs in this bed in their factory, they are huge and they're wide. And here's the side of the bed. We're talking 8 inches inset and probably 14 inches tall. If I want to guesstimate, it's about here. On the side of the bed, you're talking 10 inches of up travel with this size tire. So it's begging, as far as I'm concerned, for an axle flip in the rear. And then we'd have to figure out what to do on the front. So we're kind of, you know, right now, I'm kind of thinking kind of a hot rod cruiser lower. It's got to get lowered. And I think that's, I don't know. The downside is it's another kind of drawn out longer project, and we've got those in a lot of them, but you also don't want to short something. Now, yeah, could we shine it up, fix a little bit of the paint work, put some 16-inch tires on it and send it for somebody to enjoy? Yeah, we could do that, but I've just had ideas floating around in my brains, and I might have to follow up on those. We'll see. Tippy tap down in the keyboard on what you think we should do with this 1961 F250 farm truck with a brand spanking ready to roll 300 inline 6 and a 4-speed. Thanks for watching this one. We'll catch you on the next video.